This is the next piece that we're going to be working on for critiquing my art. So this is another piece that I made in 2016 that it's just... everything is wrong. Everything is so wrong. I don't know what she's doing with her hands, to be honest with you. The gun looks warped. Like, look at this gun. What is happening? What is happening with this gun? I don't understand. What was the thought process behind this? This gun just looks... I don't even think it's correctly... It's not even correct. It's not even correct. And the clothing shading. I don't know. This is probably, in my defense, one of the earlier drawings that I did of a human without really looking at references. So that's probably why it's kind of all crazy. Yeah, so to be fair, that's why. Yeah, I don't know. Listen, don't judge. Alright, we don't judge here, but I can only judge myself. And this is fan art of Hawkeye Mihawk. As you can tell, I have a lot of fan art here that I like to draw a lot of fan art whenever I was younger. I still like to do fan art now, just not as, I don't do it as often. So the first thing I would do is get rid of all that weird shading. So that's the first thing that we are gonna do, is get rid of all this weird shadows, and just doesn't make any sense. Like, sorry, I don't know why. Also, this, so that nobody freaks out, this is my old logo. My old account used to be fantasycatart, that's what that says. It is over on DeviantArt, where you can check that out if you choose to do so. But for now, we're gonna fix all these little errors to make this piece look a little better. Because when have you seen a shadow that looks like that? That does not look like a shadow. That does not make any sense. So we're gonna fix this. I think the reason that I did this to begin with was because I saw a lot of these, like, you know, these anime style, like, with all these really cool wrinkles in the clothing and shading, and I wanted to kind of replicate that, but I didn't know how. And that's why I was making these weird designs where it just doesn't make any sense. So the first thing I would do to make this better is I would do this. Also, I already noticed I used black shading. I definitely used black shadows, which is another thing that you do not want to do. You never want to use a black shadow. It is too dark, too lifeless, it just doesn't work. And as you can see, there's already a gradient shadow down here, which really didn't, these dark black shadings didn't really need to happen because there's already a dark shadow down here. So there's really no reason to have all that going on. And we have all these really weird bumps and stuff here. I'm gonna take advantage of this. Like, you could add highlights here. No, sorry. My cat. You could add highlights here to, like, really emphasize on the highlight and where it's coming from. No. Nobody can see you. You're not allowed to be on stream. Why do you always gotta be in my business? You're not getting that sandwich. It's just not happening. The legs already are looking a lot more cohesive and make sense. The anatomy's nicer. We're gonna continue with this, like, you can do, like, don't get me wrong, you can do deep black sections on your drawing. You just gotta know how to do it right, and during this time period, I didn't know how to do it. And I don't understand why I have these yellow highlights down here either. Doesn't really make sense. I'm going to now also try to make these a little bit more subtle. They're very not subtle. So now that should look a lot better. This cuff here is another part of it that really doesn't make sense. I think I see where I was going with it, but there's too much black line art going on that it's kind of lost. So we're gonna fix that here. Also, this doesn't make any sense either. If her arm is coming down this way, like this whole section here, it just looks too much. Too many wrinkles. Sometimes less is more. I've learned that a lot. And that just doesn't add up there. And again, the lighting on this hand doesn't make sense, right? Because if the lighting is coming from above, then why is the lighting here coming from below? Right? So that doesn't make any sense. So we're gonna fix that too. I have not a clue what she's doing with her hands. Could not tell you at all what she's doing with her fingers. So I don't know what to tell you. I'm not gonna redraw her entire hand, but it's not that her hand's like incorrect, it just doesn't make any sense. I also just noticed her thumb is kind of not correct. The thumb should kind of be more out like that, I guess, for this angle. And these highlights here would go up. You might have a highlight there on the knuckle, and some down here. But a lot of this hand's gonna be in the dark. As for this gun, let's just not. Hold on. We'll repair, we'll fix. It's not gonna be a perfect gun, but first off, the way she's holding the gun, it looks like it's warping it. Because in reality, I think it should face this way, right? Oh. Ah, gosh darn it. So the gun just looks warped. It doesn't look correct. Nor is any of these parts on the gun accurate. I don't know if I drew the gun from memory or what. But it just doesn't make sense at all. So we're gonna do that same mistake again and draw the gun from memory. I'm gonna clean it up a little bit here, just make it look a little more cohesive. Like, this doesn't make any sense, right? Because the trigger is kind of supposed to be underneath this mechanism. Right? And again, the highlights on the gun don't make sense either. So to fix that, you're gonna switch this up. And I mean, you can even do what I'm doing right now, which is like more of a in the middle highlight. It sometimes works because of this object is like, obviously it's round on certain parts because of it being, you know, a 3D round object like a gun. So so that already looks a lot better. The other thing I'm noticing, the way that this is too long. I don't know how else to explain it. This is too long. Like, the gun should kind of end here, so the hand should be up here, right? Like, that's too long. So we're gonna fix that too. And again, like I've said in the past, this is not the best that I can do. This is just me showing and trying to give advice on what would help or assist. What would make your drawing look more cohesive and better. Not exactly to redraw the piece, just to let you know that what you changes you could make to make it look better. So anyway, this is also a technique. I didn't talk about it when I did it, but this thumb here, how I didn't put the line art back. You can do that around highlighted areas because it kind of makes the piece look interesting, right? If you do that, like here for instance, it kind of, you're implying that there's a line there without drawing it, and it makes it gives your piece, makes it more visually interesting. Now, To me, her facial structure is all sorts of whack. So we're going to try to fix that here with the liquify tool. Her jaw should come out more. Too much. Just so you can see an example. That already makes it look proportionally better. And then her eye here. It should look more like this, and it's a little too much outwards, right? Now, the reason this works a little bit more with the lines in the hair work a little bit more because you can count them as strands instead of shadows, like strands of hair that's causing that to look like that. Well, in the clothing, it just doesn't make sense at all, right? The shading here is literally just a darker color of the yellow, making it look flat. You can add some color in here. That'll make it look less flat. Give it a little bit more visual interest. Something I like to do to separate these pieces, and some artists like to do, sorry, with these type of drawings that look more for like stickers or whatever, like the single transparent designs. You can go over things that overlap, for instance, things that you want to stand out. If you want these things to stand out, you can go over the edge of it with a white highlight. Now you can use line weight to help with these. I like, you know, to emphasize that curve there. Help with this, emphasize the gun. This is a good one here because this shirt piece is blending in to that back arm. To separate it, you could do one of these. Like, look how much more that looks separated, and I can even carry it up the arm here. And that'll make it look like it's coming out. Because this, another way to bring it out, to pop it out away from that arm, because it's just, it looks too, they're too much the same shading and color. Do what we did previously. And we could do some of this. This is what we did with the back part of the uniform. But instead I'm going to do it to the overall piece here. Do a soft light, hard light. No, I think vivid. Green. Find a setting that works best for you. That looks, there we go. That's kind of the look we're going for, but you're gonna bring it down just a little bit. It'll make it look like it's more in the background, compared to the foreground. It's just a little trick that you can do. Trying to see if there's anything else. Oh, this is a mistake that I did. Okay, this is a mistake that I did personally while fixing this piece. Right, remember, this is how, remember that I said, oh, the lighting's coming up from here, right? Well, what did I do down here? Do you see? I made the, lighting come from the bottom. And that's not what we want, right? That's not what we want. Getting lost in thought, making mistakes. So, we're gonna want this shading. Frankly, there's probably not going to be any highlights down here. And too bad, because this highlight looks so good. So as I'm finishing up the little bits here, I do appreciate you guys watching me live on stream. I appreciate the people who are going to be watching this after stream when I post it to YouTube. Thank you guys so much, genuinely. Thank you. I appreciate it. If you want to see more videos like this, please let me know. You know, you gotta subscribe, follow, leave comments, you know, talking in the chat helps. We can do more things like this, make more suggestions. If you guys make suggestions, I can do more things like this, is what I meant to say. So just let me know. If I don't hear anything, I'm assuming that you guys don't like it, so I won't do as much of it. But if you guys do like this, please let me know. Alright, so overall, I definitely think this is an improvement. So what we did here, some key things for me to point out. We added the white highlights here to help the character stand out from different portions of the body, since there's a lot of things overlapping. Added a light highlight-ish, like more like an overlay on pieces in the background, like so, to create some dimension. And then we got rid of a lot of the black shadows because it was just too dark. There's still a few here that I could adjust and fix. Like this pad here is all sorts of out of whack. But as for like the shading and the consistency of stuff, it looks a lot better. We fixed the gun because the gun was just too long, too many things going on with the gun. And we added this shadow to the hair to provide more of a visual interest. So this is the after, and this is the before. What do you guys think? Do you think there's an improvement? I think it looks a lot better than the previous. And again, if you guys want me to critique any of your artwork, I'm more than willing to help and assist. So please just let me know in the comments or in chat, whichever comes first. And thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment down below. Thank you. Bye.